so I was gonna come over on Friday, and we were gonna practice, practice like every week until the show's in April. And then Wednesday night, he messages me and is like, well, our vocalist set up a show for us. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, when is it? And he's like, Friday. And it's an hour and 20 minutes away. And we're like, oh. And I hadn't even practiced with them, for months. I mean, I knew some of the songs because they were the songs we wrote way back then, but I hadn't practiced with them. So I went over, and the vocalist couldn't make it because they live farish away. So it was just Jesse and Austin and me and the guitarist. So we mostly got to practice, we just didn't have the vocals, which is fine. And then, so we get to the place, and it looks really, really cool. It used to be a swimming pool, but now they have like steps that go down into where the pool was, and then the people play on like this rised up part at the end of the pool, and so it's really cool. And then there's like, parts up around the edges, so it's like this really cool place. And so we get there, and the people are like, oh, we weren't expecting another band. And we're like, well, our vocalist Kyle told us that we had a show here. And they're like, oh, well, we were only expecting this one band, Failure to Excel, who they're really good. I've seen them live a few times. It was really cool that we got to play a show with them. So we're like, well, what do we do? And they're like, well, you guys can play, that's fine. It's great to have another band. And we're like, oh, good. And they're just like, but just next time, actually book the show. And apparently he asked the booking person about having a show and never actually got an answer, and just thought we could play or something. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. So it was really, really awkward. But they're like, yeah, sure, you can play. But the thing is that we don't have a bass amp because we just haven't gotten around to buying one. So we always just borrow someone. So we were like, hey, can we use your bass setup? And the guy was like, yeah, sure. And they were really nice guys, Failure to Excel. I'll put a link for them, they're really cool. So I used his bass setup, and I plug it in, and I'm like, it's not working. And so we switch the cable, and it's still not working. And then I fiddle with the cable, and it works. Because I think it wasn't plugged in all the way. And so it's working. We do our sound check, even though the vocalist still isn't there, but the guitarist has come. But then the guitarist is like, oh, I've got to go pick up the vocalist, so he leaves, and we have to do the sound check without him. So we do that, and then they get there, and then they're like, oh yeah, you guys don't have to go on for another 45 minutes, and we're like, oh, okay. So then we just hang out, then it's time to go on, and we get on stage, and, checking our levels again, just making sure, and I'm like, the bass isn't working again, and they're like, no, and so the guy tries another cable, it doesn't work. He tries messing with his amp, and it doesn't work, and he gets his bass, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to use his bass, because I'm like, so afraid I'm going to break it. And then we find out that, like, one of the power cords got knocked loose, so we just had to tape that down. But, so yeah, so then we played, and we actually did a good job. Like, out of all the shows I've played with these guys, Roy's like, it was okay, and, like, we always messed up a lot, but this time we actually did a good job. And, we have videos of it up on YouTube, and I'll post a link for that. I'm kind of losing my voice a little. The websites I go to the most would have to be MySpace and Facebook, because I just have a bookmark that I just click on it with the scroll button, and I just open up MySpace, open up Facebook, so I can check them, and then if I'm like planning to be on the computer for a little bit longer, I open up YouTube and Flickr, so that way I can check people's pictures and if anyone's got any videos and such. Last week I forgot to answer Signy's question about the kitten's name. Henry. Like, just one of those plain, simple names. Those are usually good names for kittens. Like my friend's kitten is named George, and it's just such a cute cat name. I don't know. The last video I watched would be, Jesse's vlog. He does Saturday vlogs for our 7 cents. And I watched his vlog, and he was saying how he wonders if vloggers, it only shows the top half of them. So, like, do some vloggers not wear pants? And, the guy from the What the Buck videos, I think he just wears, like, shorts and his suit top, because he knows that's all people see. And I know some people don't wear pants, but I wear pants because I'm a pants person. My question is more of a challenge, as well as a promotion for me. Go check out my band's videos. Check out one of them, or all of them if you want. I think there's 3 videos. And just tell me if you thought it was actually good, because I want to know what you guys think. Like, leave a comment in the comments, or like do a video response. I'll put the link to that. Alright, so I'll see you next Sunday.